Welcome back to ruralvacantland.com. This is Luke Smith, and I've got Eric on the line. And Eric, we've done some land dealings in the past and ready to do some more. And I just want to welcome everybody that's signing in, coming online. I want to say I wanted to start dancing this morning when the website started working again. The website's been down for the last 2 days. ruralvacantland.com, my website. My passion, my day and night job, all the work I've been doing into that website, it disappeared. It got hacked. Somebody stole the website and started sending videos all over the place, like Hollywood's greatest, new release stuff. And I've been fixing it, and it comes back, fixing it. So like it's starting to come back. The it's on, it's live. It's not 100% on. Like some of the maps aren't working and some of the pictures are still missing, but I've got a couple people helping me with it, and it's getting put back together and coming back around. So none of the history's lost, and none of the prices and locations and information about the properties are all there. It's just getting a lot of the pictures linked up and the maps, the locations linked back up. If we have to recreate them, we'll recreate them, but I think they'll get them linked up anyway. So that's coming on, it's coming back, and thanks everybody for your patience. I had people out trying to find land and saying the map's not working, I can't find the land. Other people planning trips to go to the land, and they're like trying to find the maps to go find it. Other people trying to pay and trying to buy, and yeah, so don't realize how much I miss that website until it's gone, how much I use it until it's gone. And I'm very grateful that it's coming back around. So thank you everyone for being patient. And so back to the point of this video, I have Eric on the line here. And Eric, can you say hi?
Hello, everybody. Hello,
Hey,
Luke.
there we go. So we got him audio, and I think he's seeing the video, half a minute or a minute behind. And we were talking about doing, going to buy more land. And he's like, so when do you want to do this? And I said, right now, right? And so I think I screwed up his day and wrangled him onto the phone to send out some more mail. So let's take a look at this and see if we can make it happen. The idea of what we're mailing is some parts of Arizona that I haven't really had on the website much at all in the past. And a lot of it's a little bit higher elevation in the mountains. I think more desirable land, a little bit more character to it, more trees, more wilderness, surrounded by more parks, BLM, county land, national land, Indian reservation land, whatever, but just not developed much at all in the area kinds of properties. That's like a place to escape to, go to, adventure, fun, exciting, and wonderful stuff to buy and have and put to use. So that kind of land. And thinking about Arizona, it's kind of like, where is it the hardest to buy land? That's those kinds of places. And the ones that I've had in the past have sold super fast in these areas, and trying to go back and get more of them, make more people happy. So I think the counties we're going to be talking about today are Yavapai County, and I want to skip some parts of Yavapai County as we get up into like Seligman and up in there. There's some seas of property that get a little more boring, and there's lots of competition. I kind of want to skip that part. Coconino County, there's a lot of it that's looks the same. I want to skip, but I want to focus in on like the Flagstaff Mountains around Flagstaff. I want to get some properties in there. I've got a lot of people ask for Flagstaff, and I never have Flagstaff. It's really expensive, really hard to get. There's not much properties to choose from, but if we can get some, it'd be awesome. So that part of Coconino, Gila County. I should pull up a county map while I'm talking about these counties, right? Let me see. I'll flip it over here. I'll show you what counties I'm talking about. Yeah, so here's Phoenix is here. In green is Maricopa County, and that's where Phoenix is. That's where most of the people are. North of that, you have Prescott, which is Prescott Valley. It's just a beautiful area. It's really Mediterranean climate. It doesn't get crazy hot, doesn't get crazy cold. It's just very, I think it's some of the best climate in Arizona is around Prescott, and people seek that out and go after it. It's very people-friendly climate. And then you've got over here Flagstaff, so you get up higher elevations with like snow and wild trees, big big solid trees. You smell the fresh air coming through the trees, kind of stuff. Over, rims overlooking the deserts as you go this direction. But that kind of land is what I hope to accomplish in this mailer. And then Gila County. Gila is a lot of it's Indian reservation, and not so much of it's private, but a lot of what is there is in the mountains. And if we can get some good sized properties in the mountains, I'd be really happy. And then Graham, Eric was telling me, is a lot more farmland. I've mailed offers there in the past, and I was never able to get the offers that I mailed just because they were too low. And but I think there's a good deal of nice mountainous spots in Graham as well that I think we can target. So what's going on in my head before we go do this is that we're probably going to be pulling like different area codes, or not area codes, zip codes, like trying to get more zip code specific to pick out the mountains. And if these counties don't have the data for the zip codes, then we'll probably be going to like APN numbers, trying to focus in on different parts of these counties to mail offers, cash offers to buy land in those specific areas. And if you're listening and watching and sticking around, I'm going to give some land away towards the end of this video. So I'll give away a cheap piece of property that I can afford to give away. And if you want it, stick around and answer basic question, and I'll do the paperwork and every, the negotiations and dance and everything to buy a piece of land in your name and get the deed delivered to you. And it'll probably take a couple months to pull it off, but you get a piece of land. You could have me resell it for more, keep some money off of there, or give it to your grandkids, or go build a house on it, or whatever it is you want to do. So it's my way of saying thank you for coming, contributing, watching this video, and that kind of stuff. And so I see some comments going by, and also see some red lights. Let me change a setting or two here, see if I can get this to stream better. Eric, are you watching the comments?
I am. We've got 25 people watching, and I am reading the comments.
There we go. I see Dan Potkey. Dan Potkey's on there, and I owe Dan a call about some title things. I'm going to call you, Dan. I was calling you earlier today, and I think I left a message, but I'll try again. Dr. Todd Fisher. Yeah, this is, I got to call him back too. He's on my hit list of doing a mailer like this as well. He wants to do a mailer like this. And yeah, a couple other guys. A2, he's on here all the time. So I have to knock out for work, but have a good show. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Okay, so thanks, guys, for coming online. We're going to try to figure out this mailer, get some offers out there, and then between when the offers are going out and they're coming back, I can answer a lot of everyone else's questions and make things happen. And so here we go. Let's dive into this. First, I was looking up, I was playing with Zillow. Not that that's the end-all be-all of real estate prices, but it's a good place to start sometimes because they've got a simple map, and you can, just like their graphical map feature, we can look at lots of stuff from there. So I pull up Yavapai County because I kind of think that's going to be the most expensive of these, but I might be totally wrong. Yavapai, the Flagstaff stuff, if we just get that section of Coconino, that's probably the most expensive. But Yavapai is highly sought after because of Prescott Valley, this whole central region here. This stuff in the north is Sligman, and that's, if we zoom in on that, that's where we're going to get all the cheaper properties. From my experience, I might be wrong, because I haven't done this, but yeah, like $7,500 for 20 acres with some trees. I mean, if you want cheap land that's got some trees and little roads all over it, there are these neighborhoods up there. There's 2 or 3 neighborhoods that have just a ton of these properties, and they all kind of look the same. There's a whole bunch of them. It's really hard to compete with the other sellers that are out there. Everyone keeps dropping the price on top of each other. Here's $8,000 for 10 acres. 40 acres for $9,450. That gets further out of no trees over there. There's 40 acres for 10 grand. A little road running through it. I mean, you could totally make a business about buying and selling land up here. But from my experience, they don't sell very fast because there's so many of them to choose from. And there's a lot of competition. I go put my stuff out there at $5,000 or whatever, somebody else comes in at $4,000, you know, hours or a day later, and it's a race to the bottom. So if you want to buy cheap land, this is a good area to buy cheap land. If you want more desirable land that's got a better climate going on, Eric, what do you think about that statement by Seligman versus Prescott Valley, Prescott kind of weather? Do you know the areas enough to know the weather?
I think Prescott Valley would be a little bit milder than Seligman. That's pretty, in my opinion, that's just desert out there.
Yeah. So Prescott Valley, I start focusing on Prescott Valley. Here's one, $20,000, 40 acres. It's been on there for over a year, but it's not really there. It's not really mapped. They're not showing where the actual location is. And the ad's horrible. It doesn't give you like APN or location. It doesn't give you, there's no map. It's not even mapped. Like, how do you buy a property with no map? Oh, maybe this is a map. I don't know. I don't think that's a real map. I think it's just a default central location that the map fell on. That's probably why it's been up for sale for a year and a half. Nobody bought it. $41,000 for 10 acres, 182 days on Zillow. I mean, it's been on the market long enough that they're overpricing it, right? They've been dropping, well, it was 20 grand and they changed it to 41 grand. That seems to be like right in the middle of the valley. Seems to be the same one listed a couple times. So Yavapai, 10 acres and up. I think it starts at like 42 grand for the parts of Yavapai that I'm thinking about. And I started pulling up a zip code map somewhere here. So I think we can take Yavapai zip codes and we can not mail the Seligman stuff up here, like 86320 and 86337. Just mail the southern ones. Sedona, like West Sedona, Big Park, Cottonwood, Camp Verde, Prescott Valley, and down into the mountains. Maybe not even this back corner over here. Wickenburg. Maybe this stuff down by Wickenburg I think gets a lot cheaper too. Less desirable. You get some really hard to access properties, has always been my experience with Wickenburg. Zillow doesn't have anything for sale down in that area really. Well, here we go. 50 grand for 36 acres, 50 grand for 13 acres. Huh. More expensive than I would have figured, because a lot of this Wickenburg stuff it's a ways from supplies. There's 41 acres in the crazy hills with no access for 50 grand. No. Okay. So I'm kind of just keeping it in my head. Yavapai is like 42 grand and up if we get rid of the Seligman area stuff. Coconino. Eric M is saying gold mines and other kinds all over Arizona. Is that you, Eric? You typing in there?
That is.
Okay.
Yeah, I was fine. Teresa.
Good deal. Yeah, there's a lot of gold mines all over Arizona. Older ones. Okay, so I bring up Coconino County, and most all the properties that are for sale, like 10 acre and up stuff that's for sale, seems to be closer to the area that I want to be in. But I don't want to be in some of these neighborhoods that are up here between Flagstaff and like whatever this stuff's called out here. Every time I have properties out there, people are like, oh, the gates are locked, and there's a sea of stuff
Luke, is
back
that
here.
talking about William?
William?
That's east by
North of William.
William.
North of Williams. There's a couple neighborhoods up in there that I've bought land in the past that are really hard to get people out to the property. The ranchers get all nasty. But I wanted to like stick to the mountains. So if we can find zip codes that are around Flagstaff, like running up the 17 and a little bit the 40, maybe the 89, a little bit up in there, I think that would be good. So let's see if we can get a Coconino County zip codes map. What's the name of the website we're using? Zipmap.net, I think. Zipmap, okay. Got it, same Zipmap. I like this website, Zipmap. So we got there's this pink zip code in here that looks like the Flagstaff zip code 86001. There's a green one in here that looks like a good area, 86015. This brown one gets a whole lot of backside, not what I really wanted, and half of it's what I don't want, half of it's what I want. 86004 looks like a good deal of mountains. We could hit a bunch of these zip codes and then skip the rest of them. Maybe we just hit these ones down here, and if we get some offers from the flats up here, we'll evaluate them but basically throw them in the trash. So I think that could work on Coconino if Coconino's got the data to do zip codes. So I think it's just the one zip code that might be a mess. Let's look back at the market. If we drop that one zip code, that might be the Williams one. Maybe we should just skip that whole zip code because there's a lot of properties for sale in that zip. So I'm doing 10 acres and up. Doing for sale. Let's just do land. So that zip code's got, yeah, 12,950 for 15 acres. It's been on the market for a while. That's way out by Ash Fork though. That's the area. I want to skip that area. I mean, I've bought properties out there and I've sold properties out there and I've made money, but it's they're slow. There's 20,000 north of Williams. 20,000. So then if we go over towards Flagstaff area, do that same thing in Flagstaff, there's just like nothing for sale. Same size as it changes from 20,000 to 40,000 real quick. And the 40,000 looks like it's not in the right place. 50,000 looks like it's kind of getting off the edge of the higher elevation stuff. 65 grand for 70 acres, that's not in the right place on the map. There's 75,000 for 11 acres. This is by Williams. It's not in the right place either. A lot of this stuff is mislabeled. This is probably the center of the map. They just dump the random mislabeled stuff here. They're all coming up in the same area. Here we go. $239,000 for a 10-acre lot. That's the first one that looks like it's real. Maybe this 200,000 for 10 acres. Yeah, this one looks more real. Just think about that, 200,000 bucks. These other ones are kind of like fake. So there's 100,000 for 20 acres. Something's wrong, because it's like, it's not a real location. It's not really on the map. The ones that aren't mapped, they all come up in that same spot. So the $200,000 is the Flagstaff area for 10 acres and up. Which is a lot. Let's see what this is. This one might be real, 140,000. So the market really goes up in this area around Flagstaff, because it's just there's not much land for sale. It's all government. It's like beautiful protected government property. So when you get something in there that's private, I mean, you get these crazy $1 million properties. And then you get away from the mountains and it drops off. Drops off into lots of properties for sale. Nobody's trying to protect it from development, and the prices drop right off a cliff. So I think we throw some horseshoes in there and see if we buy some. Okay, so that's probably the biggest dollar part of this. Let's go to Gila County. We're gonna have to get really selective with the zip codes in there and probably get deals that aren't what we wanted to get, and skip some of them and just filter through. You okay with that, Eric?
I am.
Yeah.
Just answering some questions in the chat right now. Matt had a question about what you meant by fake, and I was just giving my opinion, which is like a listing you find where it's been listed for over 1,000 days, or something else goofy like you were describing, that it's not necessarily a real listing or available.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best ways to find out is give them a call. Pick up the phone. I bet you we go back and call those fake listings, nobody answers the phone, and nobody calls us back. It just like ghosts in the machine, right? There's a bunch of that on Zillow. So Zillow's got a bunch of good stuff and it's got a bunch of fake stuff. And Zillow's trying to crack down on that. They're trying to, you know, if you go post stuff on Zillow now, it didn't used to be this way, but if you go post it now, they call you back. They have like an automated machine that calls the phone number you put on there, and they like make sure you answer some questions to get your listing to go live. And I think that's great. I think they should do some follow-ups to that, maybe over time, you know, 6 months, a year, the listing's still there. Like, hey, is it still for sale? Is it still good? You still got this right phone number? You still in business? You know, all that stuff. And like, get rid of a lot of this fake listings. I mean, they get traffic by having lots of listings and lots of stuff on their website, but at some point, like the quality drops off and people will stop believing in it, and they lose the validity of their website. So hopefully someone at Zillow notices that over time and figures it out. I don't think it's my job to go tell them, but just looking at the market, if you want to go buy a property in one of these areas and you start, you know, listing it from cheapest to most expensive, and you start calling the guys, I mean, I've done this enough times that I think I can kind of weed through it a little bit faster than most people. But I mean, one of the obvious ones is that the property doesn't even have a location. It's like somebody saying, "Hey, if you want to buy something like this, give me a call. I'll go buy it at one price and sell it to you for the price that you're trying to pay." You know, people are testing the market, or they don't know what they're doing, or the listing has gotten fed in from somewhere else and the data's not lining up. That's a lot of Zillow's listings. Like it's just a ghost. There's nobody there. There's nobody behind it. It might be on some local MLS. The MLS might have taken it away and Zillow's still got it on there. They're not updating it. It's a lot of data to keep up with. It's a huge database that Zillow's got going on. You know, and I like to compare different sites. Like if you take Zillow and you compare it to Redfin or Trulia or Landwatch, Land and Farm, and look at a bunch of these websites, you can get a better idea. You'll see a lot of the same listings on all of them. Even though Land and Farm kinds of websites now are feeding stuff in through the different IDX feeds from MLS. And yeah, so I got Gila County, Arizona pulled up. The vast majority of it's parkland. Can't buy it, can't trade it. I don't know how the county pays taxes. They pile all the taxes onto the couple private properties that are actually there. So I pull up the market. I'm doing 10 acres and up, just vacant land, not houses, 10 acres and up, and just the stuff that's for sale. And I'm not looking at the stuff that's sold. I mean, we can look at recently sold, but it's usually a bunch of corny data in there, like, you know, father sold it to son or something. Here's $33,000, 40,000, 40. So these are some big numbers, right? But usually you'll see like $1,000 or something, some nominal number someone put in there. But for sale, there's land for sale for 15 grand. Let's take a look at this. This is the same thing. It's like not showing up on the map, so they don't have an actual location. Maybe the ad or the listing or something shows a location, but it's just this property is great to live and have your horses. There's the ad. I mean, you're selling a $15,000 something. You think you could put a little bit more something in the ad than like a picture of a bush and this place would be great to have your horses, but whatever. They'd start at $22,000 and change it to $15,000 the same day. And I don't know, 15,000 bucks, says 12 acres. Don't know where it is. Looks like, you know, there's some bush, there's some, can't tell if those are saguaro cactuses or those are the Dr. Seuss trees. You know what I mean? Yuck, what do you call them? I forget the name. Little red flowers on them. $15,000. 25,000 bucks. This is another one that doesn't have a location. It's been on there for 413 days. 190 days, no location. 23 days, no location. 35 bucks. Or 35,000, 11.6 acres. At least it hasn't been on there for very long. It's got some cactus and some bush. I was hoping for stuff with trees. Maybe this area doesn't have as much trees as I was thinking.
Luke, that area, that particular listing you just highlighted is an area called Globe, south of Payson.
Yeah.
And not forested like you're going to find in Payson.
So Globe down
Not
here in the south.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, so this is Gila County, and we want to get rid of this stuff that's probably off to the east and the south. And keep this stuff in the north and the west, like where it's all green park land. So let's look at the prices over there. see if it updates. My wife's calling. I'll get her back. Wow, the prices change. Okay, so if we get rid of globe, $160,000 for the cheapest 10 acres. It's been on the market for 238 days. Looks like it's got a pond. It's got some tree. Private well, underground utilities. So this isn't like truly vacant. This has some improvements going on. Looks like a beautiful area. Not as many trees as I was thinking, but $160,000. It's the cheapest one. $169,000. $169,000. 224,000. Oh, my sister's calling me. $315,000. I mean, these are more trees. These prices are crazy. This is still Arizona. Is there something wrong with me, or? It's a highly sought after area. So if we get stuff in that area, 10 acres and up, I mean, it's, yeah, I don't know how much we're gonna have to pay, but I'm calling $160,000 market and up. There's not a whole lot there to choose from or to compete with. So if we get something, we're gonna be like the only ones in the market with stuff for sale. Versus like Sligman, where we're talking about everybody and their brothers got stuff for sale. This has more character to it, and you get the place to yourself, and you're not that far away from Phoenix. Phoenix is just down the hill. So this could be, I think, a really beautiful area to get something. This is like a all-star ranch, you know, your feather in your hat. Beautiful place to go build your McMansion in the hills away from town. So I think that could be really nice. We just got to make sure we don't get the southern part of the county down here by Globe and this flat boring stuff down here. Probably Cedar Creek, Canyon Day, Carrizo, Seneca. Someone living there is on the chat. They're probably saying, what is he talking about? But it's going to be just different prices down here versus up here and all the national forest stuff. So, and then one more county. I don't know if we're going to have any records when we pull up all these counties, but Graham County. I don't know if there's an E on the end or not. I think there is. Yeah, no, there's no E. Graham, Graham County. Okay, so Graham County, I had that one on the bottom of the list because I think this is my priority hit list. After going through these numbers, I want to hit northern Gila first, and then Yavapai, or sorry, then Coconino up by Flagstaff, and then Yavapai, and then Graham. But let's take a look at the market in Graham and see what we find. So the cheapest looks like some really nice backdrop, but not the kind of land I'm really going after.
Luke, Mark has asked a couple times about if you could speak about places you could build without permits.
Yeah. So one of the beauties of buying a little bit bigger size properties is lots of times the regulations change depending on the size of the property. And so a lot of the guys are trying to build without permits or trying to build some exotic, I shouldn't say exotic, I should say more creative structure, is they want to get away with the cheapest property, which is totally understandable, and they want to they don't need much land to do it, so they take smaller property somewhere that allows you to do it on the smaller properties. But it's kind of an oxymoron because the more creative you get on your property, the less people want to have you as a neighbor. And so the smaller properties you get, the more friendly you get with your neighbors. So the bigger properties you get into, the easier it is to get away with stuff on your land, regulatory wise, and just get away with stuff, right? So one of the ways is to go for bigger properties, and most anywhere you can do all kinds of stuff on bigger if you get big enough properties. Then if you want to do Arizona, you want to stick to Arizona with smaller dollar properties, $1,000, $2,000 properties. To me, the easiest is like if you're going to live in an RV, to pull into Apache County and just set up and go for it. If you want to build something, then I think you should buy down in Cochise County. Cochise County has a bunch of owner-builder regulations. You can't just pull in on day one with your RV. You got to get a $25 RV permit, fill out the thing online, and I think you could almost do it over your phone. Maybe not fully over your phone, but you can do it online, at least with like a scanner and stuff. You can send it in, you can fill it out online and make it happen. And then you can live in an RV while you build. You can build whatever the heck you want, because if you've got the right zoning, like my favorite one's 4-acre plus properties in Cochise. They're zoned RU4, because I've had a bunch of those. There's other zonings that work too, but that's the one I'm the most familiar with. And you can take that zoning and you can claim owner builder and go build whatever you want without inspections. Like, you're supposed to follow building code, but there's no inspections. Nobody comes and checks your stuff. You can do whatever you want. So there's a bunch of people on YouTube doing that, and like My Little Homestead or Handyman is another YouTube channel, and Homesteadonomics. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It's another one that is, he might not be in Cochise, he might be in Pima County, like the next county over, but yeah, there's a bunch of them, especially those first two are Cochise County, talking about all the rules and regulations of building stuff and making it happen in Cochise County firsthand, because they're doing it on properties there, and they talk to you about the zoning they have and how they're doing it and the paperwork and everything. So I think that makes it really easy to follow. I think Navajo comes up next. Like, they want you to have a septic system, but they also have the rules and regulations about composting toilets on their website. So, I mean, if you follow their composting toilet stuff, you can do composting toilets, and that makes a really easy hurdle to go build stuff. You go build whatever you want and do composting toilet in Navajo. I've got a bunch of properties on Navajo. In Navajo, like in the southern parts, the foothills of the mountains, to choose from on the website right now. Agricultural zone stuff in Mojave County can be pretty easy if you get the agricultural and not the residential zoned. Trying to think of what else, but mainly go after bigger properties. The bigger the property, the less regulations, generally speaking. And just call the counties and ask. Call planning and zoning and say, hey, I'm looking at this property and it's got this APN number, and they can pull it up. My website's got the APN numbers of all the properties. We're looking at Zillow right now. None of these properties have the APN number in their description. So it makes it really hard for you as a shopper to go check the rules and regulations on these properties. The real estate agents want you to call them and sign contracts and stuff with them, so you pay them a commission before you get that information to go really do the due diligence on the property, and that just makes me mad. So that's like one of the main things about putting that out there in the ads as a first sale by owner kind of land seller. I mean, put that information out there, as much information as I can. I try to get it on the website. People do all kinds of research and they buy these properties in the middle of the night without ever talking to me, like again and again and again and again. And then some people have millions of questions. I totally understand that, but I try to get all the information out there for people to just buy them and run with it. And the person asking the questions usually gets mad because somebody else bought it while they're asking questions. And you gotta, I think, do a lot of your own research. So call the county and ask them about the particular property and the particular use that you want to do, whatever it is you want to build. You want to build a, I don't know what, spaceship to Mars or something. I mean, call them and ask, like, what's the scenario? Everyone has different questions, and so I don't call the county with everybody's questions. I get a basic general idea because I've asked lots of counties lots of questions, but I don't know for your specific what you want to do in that specific property. You got to call the county and just ask. I mean, you could read their regulations for a year or something, and in one little phone call you just get to the bottom of it. So just call them and ask. I think is the best way to do it. Just look up planning and zoning or whatever county it's in and ask them, and they'll tell you stuff you can't do, and a lot of it is getting creative about working around, you know, what if stuff, to get around it, and looking at what other people in the area are doing to get around whatever rules they've come up with there. So Graham County, let's go back to Graham. We've got Graham County on the screen pulled up in Zillow, and the cheapest thing that's on here is $27.9. It's coming up in, like, you know, it's not mapped, like they don't have the actual location of it. It's been on there for almost a year. Next one's been on there for a month and a half, 30 grand. They don't have an actual location to it. And these properties have been up for a really long time. I usually suspect there's something wrong with it. City water line is on the property. This is in SFFORD. Is that a city? They spell it wrong. SAFFORD, Safford. I think they just spelled it wrong. Yeah, 30 grand, you can get into a 10 acre plus. There's a couple of them to choose from, but they don't seem to have like the actual locations so well. 34 grand, but they don't seem to be, what we're looking at doesn't seem to be in the mountains. So let's see if we can do Graham County zip code and see if the zip code makes sense. Zip map, Graham County, Arizona. Thank you guys. Thanks for asking questions. I think that keeps it live, keeps it fun. And so Graham County, geez, not many zip codes because there's not many people in the county. So like this zip code down here, 85643, has got some mountains. It's also got some valley. I kind of want the mountains. This one here, I mean, it's just 85550 seems to be a lot more mountains, but it's got some valleys in between. I might just scratch Graham off the list. Looking at this, like it's might be too hard to slice and dice it. It's not like the north or the south or this area or that area. It's kind of a couple different mountain ranges running through there, a couple different valleys, and the zip codes don't line up to it. Like the zip codes are taking up the valley and the mountains around it. We could do APNs and like slice and dice the county. I think it might make more sense to just scratch it off the list. Just do Yavapai, Coconino, Gila, the parts that we're talking about.
I agree. Luke, there was another part of Gila County that you were touching on up there towards the northwest section of it.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you have this filtered out for 10 acre minimum?
Yeah.
Okay. Northwest of Payson, there's an area called Pine, Strawberry, and Happy Jack that are pretty popular, but I'm not sure that we're going to find much there in excess of 10 acres. I'll search it myself.
I think those are a lot of like, you know, 0.2 acres and 0.25 acres.
Smaller parts.
Yeah. Like I've seen plat maps of that area and it's just like super split up. And Yeah, smaller parcels. I think people like to do that with like a motor or a mobile home or a cabin. You get out of Phoenix, and yeah, it's really happening hot. Here's Pine right here. And it's really nice looking area, but I think it's just really developed into little cabin lots.
Sure.
So if we zoom in, yeah, here's Pine and Strawberry. You can see on the maps tons of little streets all over the place. And if I get rid of, so let's take the 10 acres, let's do any, and the map lights up with a bunch of stuff for sale. And you get these 180 acres, or 180,000 bucks for what? It's gonna be some tiny thing. Oh, 1.14. That's like 5 times the size I thought it would be. There's 76,000. 76, 60, 24. Something happened to my Zillow. But I think those areas are, we're competing with developers. They take a bigger acreage and they cut it up something crazy. If there's any bigger acreage ones left. I think those areas would be a good different mailer going for housing lots, like infill lots in those neighborhoods. .3 acres, 33,000 bucks. The house is all the way around it. You can put a manufactured home on your lot, just steps to National Forest. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff going on about these areas, but they're like really jammed in there. I feel like I should be the local real estate agent giving somebody a tour to get in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
We go back to over here, there's a whole bunch of them. Star Valley, Payson. Here's one, $500 for .39 acres. Why is that so cheap? Been up for sale for months. Probably topography crazy. Side of the road looks like. HOA fees. $670 per month. HOA dues. Yeah, not gonna sign up for that. That buys a lot of golf. Yeah. So that's part of going for bigger acreage too. We stay out of the HOAs and rules and regulations. Somebody was just asking about all the rules and regulations. I mean, get into these specific neighborhoods, and they pile all kinds of regulations on top of these things. So, okay, I think we got the basics set. I'm gonna pull up RealQuest. It's loading. It's taking a while. TK Dawes is on there asking for a callback. I feel like an idiot. Like the last three videos or something I've made, he's asked the same thing. I'm gonna call you. I swear, I'm so bad at calling people back right now. My website crashed. I was trying to fix that. My wife's business was having some problems. I've been trying to fix that the last 2 weeks. I've been putting out fires left, right, and center. I've been crunching on title paperwork. And I got to call a bunch of people back. TK Dawes is definitely on the list. I'm going to call you. I'm going to figure it out. Sorry I'm taking so long to get back to you.
He's looking for a copy of a deed. He says he purchased from Land Loop.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for buying land. I've been processing deeds as fast as I can go. I got another stack of them here going to the notary. After this call, I'm going to go visit the notary again, get some more of them past the notary. But those are from like the last 4 or 5 days or something, kinds of deeds, not before that. I think he bought his before that, so his has already been processed and sent up to the county. website's crunching. I get calls all day long. Where's my deed? Where's my deed? Where's my deed? I wish I could make them faster. I wish they were faster. Other land dealers say, okay, thanks for buying the property. Here's your deed. You go get it recorded with the county. And because of that scenario, because people are always like, where's my deed? Where's my deed? Where's my deed? After they buy the property. You buy the property, it's your property. The deed is the paperwork. It comes later on. Like you go buy a house through title. Oops. And it's like a month later they give you the deed, the actual paper deed. I mean, it takes them a while to process their stuff and actually kick it out to you. And kids are running around. Let's see if I can keep them from climbing the fence. So let's do Arizona, Yavapai. I thought it's better service to like get the deeds recorded for people, you know, like go make it happen for them so they don't have to go deal with the county. So I end up doing a lot of the paperwork with the county, and
that may have worked. I think the county doesn't necessarily mail you a copy of the deed back, correct? Don't you
not
have
always.
to get back yourself?
Sometimes they send it back to me. Sometimes they send it to the buyer. Sometimes I'm doing it electronically, so I get a PDF back, and then I send people the PDF. And I've had people complain because they just get the PDF and they're like, "Where's my deed?" I'm like, "That's your deed. Like you could print it. I mean, I could print it and mail you a printed version, but that's your deed. That's just how it is."
That I think that's the case coming from.
Okay, it's like he got the electronic one. He's looking for the paper.
Well, I'm not for sure. He's just looking for a deed. I don't know that he didn't receive your PDF or something like that, but he's
Okay.
He's just trying to get a hold of a copy of the deed, which may be a phone call away to the county.
Yeah, or the girls answering the phone should be able to do that too. I mean, they should be able to do that all day long. Okay. Let me see. Yavapai County. So we'll probably want to start with land use, I'm guessing. Land use. Or let's do acreage. Let's start with lot acreage. Thinking 9 acres. I just did a bunch of these yesterday, 9 to 44 acres. I'm gonna try that again.
You're gonna do the same thing. You want to top out at 44?
Yeah, it's kind of easier for me to remember what's going on. So 9 to 44. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple limiters to the data. I'm going to add, and I'm going to save them. And the point of that is I want to see like how many records we get in each step. So if like a whole ton of records disappear, I'm going to know that that's the reason why they disappeared. So 11,470. 11,470 records. This is Yavapai. 9 to 44 acres. And this isn't scanned. We haven't whittled out the stuff that's been built on. I want the vacants. And we haven't whittled out like what the property can be used for. So I want to get rid of that. So let's add, let's do land use. So land use seems to be full. It's got the same stuff in here as before. I'm wondering if they changed this, because it used to change like county by county. It's looking like the same thing as yesterday and that we had in California. Strangely like the same things we had in California. I'm just gonna do residential single family related and get rid of stuff. And get rid of the multifamily. I still wanted ranch. I think ranch was missing. I think ranch would be under single family.
Could be. I don't know for sure, Luke. Maybe we'll check it and run it with ranch and then without and see.
Okay. So add ranch, add vacant.
Acreage?
I do what?
Recreational acreage? Are you including that?
No, I'm going to leave out recreational acreage because lots of times you can't actually build on it. Like you can camp on it, you can do stuff, but you can't build on them. I kind of wanted to just value the ones that you could build on. Let's see. My wife's butting in. I'm doing a live show on YouTube. She'll come back later. Okay, so let's do. See, I missed her phone call. Now she's gonna get really mad at me. So so we got that. Let's save this. Yavapai 2. See, so we had 11,470. Now we're down to 3,227. So that the land use got rid of a lot of them. So we haven't wiped out stuff that is built on yet. I'm not seeing government stuff in here, which is nice. But we still got to wipe out stuff that's been built on. So I'm going to use improvement percent, do 0 to 1. Yavapai 3. Down to 1402. So less than half of them are vacant. This is the whole county. We're gonna, a lot of those I think are gonna be up in the Seligman area. So 1402. Let's add property tax. So get rid of the people that don't pay tax, 'cause that's usually someone that won't sell the land. It's gonna be like the government or the park or the. Yesterday I used a bunch of 25 bucks and that seemed to work really well. I'm gonna try 25 bucks. Let's see what happens. $61. Holy cow! That really killed my. What that's telling me is they don't have the property taxes in the database, except for just a couple of the records. So let's get rid of that property tax thing. And let's do zip code. So we just got to get rid of Citus zip. I think it's called property zip in this list, but when you go to the database, it's called Citus zip. Property or site zip code. And then in the database it's called Citus zip code. Okay, so we have Yavapai pulled up and we want to put the zip codes that we like in there and get rid of the others. So 86337, 86320. Might just pull up a list of Yavapai. there's nice long lists. These in order. 2, 6, 8, 5, 8, 6. Yeah, these are in order. So I'm going to print this list so I can scratch on it. Okay, so we want to get rid of this stuff up here. And I think we want the rest of Yavapai, except for maybe this down here. We'll get rid of some of this desert in the corner. Yeah, so I think we'll get rid of a couple of these zip codes. I don't know why my printer's taking forever. So this database doesn't have a way to do negative. You can't say this whole county except for these zip codes. So you have to go and enter all the zip codes that you want. And so what I'm doing is I'm using a list off of just some website here that's got all the zip codes. And I'm going to try to, you can do from one number to the other number. So I'm going to map out where in this chronological list our zip codes are. And I'm going to put some bands in that covers all the rest of the zip codes. Into the search so we get those areas. So I got my list, and let's go back to the map, and we want to get rid of 86337. So 86337, and we want to get rid of 86320. So far they're scattered around. And we want to get rid of, I'm going to get rid of this pink one down here. 85332. 5332. Okay. Well, Wickenburg. I'm going to get rid of this too. This whole area. 85390. Let's see if 85390 is on there. That one didn't even hit the list. So that's going to skip this Wickenburg. I wonder if this gray is going to be too much Wickenburg. We might just have to decline the offers if they come back in there. Yeah, by Sedona, by Prescott, anywhere in there, I'm happy. This stuff up here, we're going to cut off. Okay, so I got my list, and the 3 that I want to get rid of are scattered out, but it should still be pretty simple to do this. So I'm going to do just a 185324. I'm going to add and enter more. So that's my first band. My second band will actually be a band. So 85362 5362 to 86315. So the whole point of scrubbing out some of these, I don't want to pay for that much mail and get people calling back that we don't want to call back because we offered too much on their land. Trying to cherry pick better land for how much we're offering. Six 338 to, this is the last one, 86351. 86351. So doing this, we don't have to enter every single zip code. We can go from this number to that number and that number to that number, and we can skip the ones that are the ones we don't want. So we've got that cooked in there. Let's save this thing as Yavapai what, 5 I think. See if we get any land left. If the zip code's working. 125. Oh no. Okay, so what that's telling me is that there's either hardly any land up there for sale, or the zip code is not working in the database isn't filled in very much with the zip code. Because what it'll get rid of is ones that don't have anything, or they've got misspellings, or they've got a comma or something goofy about it. So now what do? We could look at APN schemes of the thing and see if that northern part has specific APN styles. Let's look at APN, because we can search by APNs, and APNs in this county are probably like 3 digits, 3 digits, 3 digits, or something like that. To show APNs, not showing APNs. This other website will show APNs. So I'm bringing up Agent Pro 24/7. This is a different data set. It's a different company. It's different subscription. It's real estate data, but from Black Knight instead of CoreLogic. CoreLogic's the same people that bring you like Experian, Black Knight. I don't know what else they do. They do a bunch of like financial stuff, you know, Wall Street databases. So do Arizona, Yavapai. Because if you just blast offers the whole county, all this, from my perspective, better land gets your dirtbag offer, and you know, the Seligman stuff gets your well-priced offer, and you just end up with a whole bunch of Seligman properties. So that's not what we want. So Yavapai County. So I don't know why it's not giving me like the whole county. I thought it would show me the county on this map. It's showing me the whole state. Okay, so here's the county line starting to fill in. Maybe it's just I wasn't looking well enough. Okay, so if we go to the northern part of the county, just a bunch of government. So it's this is up 301s. 301. Let's do, I'm going to put into the parcel book 301. I'm going to view records, and I'm going to see where the beginning and ending of 301 is. So we got 301 down here, like that doesn't make any sense. Let's go to the ending of 301. So 301's, the ending seems to be in Seligman. Let me do some spot checks. So what this is APN is the assessor's parcel number. And you know, this first 3 digits is usually like the book, like the whole book of maps of all kinds of properties, right? And so I'm looking where the book starts and where the book ends. If I could just make offers to everything in that whole book. In this case, just skip that whole book. There's Williams, here's the 40. So far it's like almost all up by the 40, but there was one weird one down here. 301-00007. This is like waste disposal, sewage processing disposal. So I think there's like one outlier on the first part of that APN scheme. And for the most part, it's all up here in the area that we want to skip. And so if we just flip through this book and look at where all the properties are in this book, we might be able to, so far it's like this is in the zip code that we wanted to skip. So 301, I think we're going to X that. Let's see if there's a 302. See what the next book is. This is still North Seligman area. Let's try to see where this ends. Book 302. This is Ash Fork. It's still up there. Let's go to the end. It's all up north. So 301, 302. Let's see if there's a 303. This looks more like the mountains. This is more of the area I want to be in. Without getting too far up north. So 303 is looking good. We could just go through 304. This is down south stuff. Wonder how many books this county has. If you want to get really nitpicky, I mean, you could price by book. So a lot of this stuff is not going to be big enough properties for us, but it's like neighborhoods that got their own books. Does this make sense, guys? Anyone have questions why I'm doing this? Can't be the whole county. Where's the county line? There. See if I can get an APN down in the southeast corner of the county, because we started in the northwest, kind of like reading a book. Come on. This thing is chugging and not giving me numbers. Probably government. $502. 502. So it seems to be in the same area. So a lot of government land. .503. This is the area that we don't want. 503. I just had a 503. Where's Wickenburg? This might be more nitpicky to pull this county apart than I thought. Talking 1,400 records. Talking 140 bucks for the data to just pull it all. Let's see what we get and cut out some of the Seligman stuff. You still there, Eric?
I'm here. I had you on mute. I apologize.
No problem.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, Luke, I don't think, if we're in Yavapai, Wickenburg is still Maricopa, I believe.
Yeah, but this, as you get close to it, it gets cheap. On the Yavapai side,
Oh, yeah.
the county line gets close. But you're right, Wickenburg is in Maricopa. And then up in the north, Coconino, Yavapai border by the 40 gets cheap up there. A lot more competition. I'm trying to cut those areas out. But really, before I cut those areas out, there's only 1,400 records in the whole county that fits the size we're talking about. And a lot of that can be cut out by taking the 301 and the 302 out of the pile. So if we bought the data and then we scrubbed out the APNs that start with 301 and 302, I think we get rid of the ash flat and the Seligman properties. So maybe we buy the data, but we don't mail them, and so we probably lose. I don't know if we lose, the vast majority of the data doing that, or it's a small part of the data. That's probably where a lot of the properties are. They're in that data set. By doing it by zip, it took us down to 125 that were left.
Right.
So.
How about could you use census tracts to eliminate those? Well, I guess you can't make those older. That's what you said. So
maybe, but I don't know if the I don't know how robust the data is in Yavapai County. If we've got census tract, because it kind of doesn't seem like the zip code's working. Or it's working and there's just not that many properties left to mail in the criteria that we're coming up with. I think we should, why don't we buy them and just price it accordingly? We'll just offer a lot less money for the ones that are up north.
That seems the easier move, especially as a time saver for sure, right?
Okay, let's do that. Okay, so let's run with what we got. Let's stop trying to cut out the north. When we get the data, we'll look at the 301s and the 302s starting APNs and just set a lot lower price on those compared to the rest of the county. Okay. So there's Yavapai. I got my search saved. It's going to be the search before the last search. let me just pull that up. It's going to be Yavapai 4. It doesn't have the zip codes in it. I'm going to make it my last one. Let me test this. Go to $25 and greater. Maybe that killed stuff too. Yeah, the $25 and later is not flying. So it doesn't have property taxes in there. The idea is if you scrub out the properties with like no or little property tax, you get rid of the government. It doesn't seem like the government's really in this list anyway. Yeah, 1402. Okay, so I think we got Yavapai covered. I'm gonna try to split up Coconino. See if we can figure that one out.
Sure.
So I'm going to keep the same stuff and I'm going to switch the county to Coconino and see what happens. 1275. Got all this Flagstaff stuff. Look, it says City Flagstaff. City Williams. Maybe we could sort by city. These all say Flagstaff or Williams. Or Munns Park. Or Mormon Lake. Happy Jack.
Those are nice. All those.
Sedona. Mormon Lake. I mean, this has the properties city in there, like the region that they're in. Every single one of them does.
Yeah.
I think we should use it. Okay, so let's keep Flagstaff. Where's Munns Park?
Munns Park is south of Flagstaff, about not far, maybe 10 miles, maybe 10 to 20 miles, just due south.
This is still in the mountains. Mormon Lake. Do you know that one?
So,
So I'm writing down all the names that I see. Doing a spot check. Oops. Did I lose the website? Tuba City. Pulling up Coconino County on Zillow, see if I can find some of these places and what kind of prices. So Williams, I kind of want to get rid of Williams. That's where most all the records are. That's where a lot of the cheap land is. Tuba City. I want to get rid of Tuba City. It's way out there. Where Parks is. There's a bunch of other towns here that aren't in the list. So what'd you say about Mormon Lake? You know where Mormon Lake is? Mormon Lake, that looks like a good area. Munns Park, Mormon
Familiar
Lake.
with not just Munns Park, but I like the area. Forested.
Okay, so
In the area.
Sedona's down here in the corner, right? Where's Sedona? Here's Sedona. So we want that. So I gotta find Happy Jack and Parks. See what they're calling Happy Jack and what's Parks.
Happy Jack was back down towards Payson, around that area, Pine and Strawberry.
That looks like a beautiful area. Yeah, I think we keep Happy Jack. And then Parks. See if we can find Parks, Arizona. Sounds too generic. It might just be the park. Yeah.
Oh, that's east of Williams.
That still looks good before you get down into Williams. I think we should keep Parks. So Flagstaff, Munns Park, Mormon Lake, Happy Jack, Sedona, and Parks. Get rid of Tuba City, Williams, and any other randoms that we missed in there. Let me just do a little more spot checking, see if there's any other areas. So a lot of this is Williams. Williams is gonna Ash Fork. Yeah, we're not gonna do Ash Fork.
No. Ashford and Williams.
I've seen like 2 records that don't have a city in there. So this is really good. I'm not going to lose much of anything by using that kind of limiter. 3 records. Navajo Housing Authority. Could totally lose that one. I think we got our list. Okay, let's find city. I think it's going to be site city or something. I don't know if it's still loading or... Oh, it's still loading. Arr. Flagstaff, Munns Park, Mormon Lake. Come on, come on. Happy Jack. Sedona. almost do different prices for each one of these cities. Parks. Let's see how many records we got. 685. Not very many, but bet you there's a deal in there, or two, or three. A lot of dupes. Okay, so I think we got Coconino boiled down. We got Yavapai boiled down. Gila is up next. So let's do Gila. I'm going to pull up Gila and Zillow again. So what were we saying about Gila? We're going to do southeast, south and east. I think is that what we're scratching. We're getting rid of the south and the east.
That's what we were scratching was the south and eastern part of Gila. I believe. Let me double check that.
So let's do the basic search. We'll see if we can use city again, because that seemed to work really well. I've never really done that before, but that data set was just shining through that it's got like the city data in there really well. And let's try Gila, see if Gila shows up with the city okay. Stuff.
And it was the southeast part we wanted to eliminate there.
Yeah. Try not to sneeze. Excuse me. Sneeze live on. It's probably. We'll see if people actually watch this long of a video. if you're still watching, thank you. Later on, when we get to the end of this thing, I'm gonna give some land away. So that should be some good bait to stick around and listen. Or if you're a land dealer or want to be a land dealer, this is. I think a good way to learn, watch. I'm sure you can do better than me. You can say, look how Luke's doing it. I could do better this way and that way. And there's always ways to improve, right? So, and if you find better ways, I mean, let me know. Maybe you could share. You could make a video like this as well and share. We could learn off of each other. We can all like grow and be better, make more money, more deals, make more people happy with land that they get for good prices without the realtors. Okay, so I'm going to save this. I want to like call the CoreLogic people and ask. No records found. What's going on? I want to ask if they like synchronized all the land use categories, because it kind of feels like it. I mean, usually I got to do different land use for every county, but it seems to be working. That would be really nice. They took it all. No records. So as soon as I say that, then it doesn't work, right? Oh, because we got our cities in there. We got to get rid of the cities. It's a different county. There we go. There goes the neighbor's dogs. 307. See, this data set has like nothing when it comes to the city. I mean, a little bit, but the city's not going to work on this one. It's a bunch of blanks. There's not many records. 307 records. So let's see if the zip codes work. If the zip codes work, we're in business. If the zip codes don't work, I don't know what to say. Might have to just reprice the stuff in the one area. Yavapai, it's not what I wanted. I want Gila. So here we go. We want to get rid of this stuff down here. We want to keep the stuff up here. Let's get a list. So we're going to scrape probably this brown one, this gray one, 85542. This is the same zip, 85542, 85550, maybe 85192. I don't know. Globe. Oh, Globe's over here, but it's got a whole bunch. 85501. Let's see what shows up down here.
Globe.
Globe doesn't have much of any size properties, at least on the market.
No,
We got a bunch of them that aren't mapped. This is globe, 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 globe.
You've lost the pine forest down there too. That's back to desert.
Yep. But how do we isolate the northern part of this county? Let's try the zips. Cause like this 85501's got the globe in it, but it goes up into a bunch of mountains for a huge piece of the county.
Right.
So 85550. I mean, let's get rid of that. 85550. So obviously get rid of that. 85542. Let's get rid of that. 85192. This is just a small one in here. 85539. And then 85542, we already got that one. I'd say let's just get rid of this. 85501, see what happens to the data. 5501. So this, it basically just get rid of this whole half of the county. We're just gonna hit this part of the county up here. Okay, so let's go back to RealQuest. Let's get our back to the custom search, see if it brings it back on the screen for us, or we have to wait or what. Gila County is right, lot acreage improved, land use, Let's do site zip. From, okay. I'm just doing some bands. Well, oops, I wanted to do something else here. Oh well. 85545 to 85547. And then 8. People are always asking, Luke, where did you get that land? Why is it so cheap? What's wrong with it? Why is it broken? What's the story? It's like, guys, just go watch my YouTube videos. This is how we get the land. This is how we do it. We scrub data down and we boil this down to like land we want to make offers on. Hopefully the better stuff, the best of the best land we can buy for the least amount of money. And we systematically go through and we offer everybody in here cash. Maybe different amounts of cash, but we offer them cash. So some parts are like, we'll offer you less, we'll offer you more. Oh, bigger property, we might offer you more. Smaller property, might offer you less. And we work on that kind of pricing. And we put it in the mail, we send out actual offers. So when I hear that the post office wants to raise the postage 5 cents, I'm like, oh, come on, really? But, you know, they say they're going to do it in like January. It's like, we got to send a lot of mail out before then. Send all the mail for next year before the new year. But yeah, like actual cash offer in the mail. So these landowners, I mean, we only have their mailing address. We don't have their email and everything. 13 records, come on. They're all pacing. It's all government land up there, or the zip code's not working. I think we're gonna have to look at the data, do the same thing, price whatever that town down in the south is called. It's something less based on the APN numbers.
Right.
So some of these counties have a lot better data than others. Some of them don't have the data. Some of them's like, you know exactly where the property is by the zip code or all kinds of different things. But this one, it doesn't have the city, it doesn't have the zip code. You know, if we start messing around with the APNs, I'm sure we could figure something out, but we might be here for 3 days trying to figure it out. And we want to send more mail anyway and buy more land, so we'll just price them at less. We'll just price it in there, price the differences in there instead of just totally high grading. We'll just price it in. So let's see what I got without the zips. And where'd my Gila go? I thought I had a piece of paper specifically for Gila. That's my problem. Keep too much paper. Okay, let's see how much Gila we have. 944 acreage, 0 to 1 improvement, land use, the same land use as we've been using. I don't remember what number I'm saving on, but I'm sure it wasn't 8, so I'll use 8.
What about residential acreage, Luke? That
Did I
is
miss that
9
one?
bucks.
We could go back and add that one in. I haven't pulled the data yet. Oftentimes I save these things and then like 5 counties later I remember or learn something else and I go add it into the others. So
Sure.
residential acreage,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds like a good one. 307. So it's gonna be a small mailer, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2,000, like 2,400 records. Probably get what? After scrubbing, like maybe 1,500 mailers out of this. But I think they're going to be good ones. Vast majority are going to be really good. So yeah, let's go back and let's add in residential acreage, see if we get some better numbers. See if this thing loads. Okay, so land use. Rural home site.
Yeah,
We got that.
And that was good.
We got that one in there.
Right.
Residential lot.
Yeah.
We didn't get
Yeah.
that. Residential acreage. And residential NEC. That's probably where we get like government and stuff. I think we should hit that one.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see if it's more than 307. $295. How did that happen?
Oh. How do you go down backwards?
On the same county? I'm gonna pull the previous search and see. Yeah. Lost 12 records by adding more options. Doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Getting the exact same results. Got BHP copper in there. I wonder if adding one took away another one.
I don't. You know what I didn't see? I know there's a lag list, but I didn't see ranch on there anymore. Did you remove that?
You're right. It's replacing old ones.
Huh.
Let's just get rid of them all and start over.
Right.
It's replacing instead of adding. So ranch, residential, SFR, vacant. Find SFR. Bracket. So nitpicky, like 10 different people could do the same thing and come up with 10 different results. There's cabin too. Okay, let's see if that works. Cabin, ranch, residential, residential acreage, residential lot, single family residence, vacant lot. $384. Get a couple more. I don't see a bunch of government in there. Without looking too deep. Okay, so let's do the same thing to Coconino and Yavapai. See if we bump those numbers up. I can do this stuff off the air. I think we got the basic idea in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna work on the actual pricing of this off the air too. And yeah, thank you, Eric. Thanks for kind of moderating and answering questions in the chat and stuff as we're going along. I don't know if you saw more of them in there. Should be trying to get. But Tom Cruise is saying I can't use the map search on the website. Yeah, the website's been down the last couple days, and it just a couple hours ago started coming back to life. And I'm getting a lot of stuff updated that's still not working. Like a lot of pictures are not linking up, and the map stuff's not working. It's coming up soon, so you get the website's coming back around. I was just about ready to do the happy dance when it came back on this morning. So I've been trying so hard to get it to come back, lots of different ways. It got hacked, and people started sending, Hollywood videos all over the place. Traffic went crazy, and yeah, so the website's still a little goofy, but it's coming back around. Sorry everyone for the inconvenience on that. Thank you everyone that's been listening, that's been watching. This is like close to a 2-hour video, so if you're watching the recorded version, it's probably a lot easier to skip around, jump back and forth. But if you're watching the live version, you got some patience. Thanks for sticking around, guys. And I want to give away a piece of land. And Eric, can you come up with a good question to ask these guys about something that says they were listening from earlier on in the video, and just like a basic simple question that they could answer, the first person to answer it that hasn't hasn't won land before, it's not working with me or for me in some regard, I'll give you a piece of land. I'll do all the paperwork. I'll get it into your name, and yeah. Can you think of something?
Sure, Luke. I'm thinking of a couple here. Give me just a second. How about we had mentioned a couple areas up in Coconino County that we did not want to include. Could they name those areas?
Or just one of them? Name maybe one of them. I'm trying to keep it really easy.
Sure. Just name one of them.
Yeah, so name one of the areas in Coconino County that we're trying to exclude out of this mailer. And we're skipping stuff. The whole point of this mailer was we're trying to go after like trees and higher elevation and beautiful stuff, something that you're going to like brag about when you get your hands on this land. It's going to be really, really cool stuff. And run with it. So Rashima is saying Yavapai. That's the name of a county. We're looking for, I think, an area in Coconino County, like a city. There's a couple cities up there. I don't know if you call them cities, more towns and villages, areas that we want to skip. And Rashima was trying really hard in the past. I think she was like runner-up number 2 or something. Maybe she'll get it this time. A couple of these guys. Jay Gregory is saying this. I think he's saying the south and the east. I think that was Graham County. We were trying to get rid of the south and the east. We're talking Coconino County. Coconino is up north. It's got Flagstaff in it. That we wanted to keep Flagstaff. We were trying to get rid of some of the other stuff. I was particularly trying to get rid of stuff that is west of Flagstaff, where there's a lot for sale. There's a lot of competition. If you put stuff up for sale, everyone beats your price like really fast. It's really hard to do business there. So Rashima's saying Coconino upper area. I think that works.
Closer.
I think that works.
Getting close.
Getting closer. We're looking for the name of a city. Eric's policing this one.
A little west. Very close.
Okay, so the upper area is not specific enough. So there's a couple towns up there. You could probably pull up a map and start seeing the names of towns. Or if you pull up Zillow, you probably see like where everything's for sale up there. Ooh, there we go. I think we got a winner. Jay Gregory is saying Seligman.
Very close. I don't know if Seligman's Coconino though, is it?
It's right on the border. That area of Coconino is cheap. I think we should run with Seligman. Rashima's saying Winslow, but that's way over. That's way east. Yeah. Winslow's in Navajo County. I think Seligman works. I'd take Seligman on that.
Okay.
Take Seligman?
Ash Fork is one. You could give it to Seligman, that's true. I was looking for Ash Fork or Williams.
Yeah, Ash Fork is probably a better answer. Seligman, I wonder if Jay Gregory has already won. I've seen him on there a bunch. He might have already won one, like just really recently. No, maybe not.
That's a tough question. Long video.
I think we should take the Seligman.
Okay, that's your call, Luke. I'm with you. That was close as a stone's throw.
Todd Fisher's got the really good answer, but I think Seligman came in first. And Seligman is like the actual town is in Yavapai, but the outer skirts of it is in Coconino. And I think there's a lot of cheap land around Seligman and Coconino that I'd like to stay away from.
And we did say a few times that we wanted to exclude Seligman as well.
Yeah, I kept saying Seligman. So let's do Jay Gregory. Jay Gregory, congratulations. Thank you for watching. Thanks for paying attention. He guessed like a couple different times before he got Seligman in there. So I'm keeping your name, and I'm taking notes and stuff, and today's the 12th. It's please send an email to my assistant Gilian, Gilian at ruralvacantland.com, and I'm gonna write it in here, make sure I spelled it right, so you can cut and paste it, and I'm putting this on the screen because everyone says I was first, no I was first, and I'm showing you on the screen like the ones that I see come through in my order. And that's why I got this up on the screen. That's why I'm seeing Jay Gregory come through before others. So thank you, Jay Gregory. Copy that email I just put in there and send an email and say, your name. Say my YouTube name's Jay Gregory. The name I want to own the property in is, the title I want is, this should be the same thing, the title that you want the property owned in, and your mailing address, because I'm gonna send you a deed. It's gonna come from the county eventually, but I need your mailing address to get there, and they'll send you tax bills out in the future too. There might be a little bit of a tax on the property. Hopefully it's not something crazy. If it's something crazy, I'll probably just get you another property instead of paying the tax. What else? It takes a couple months to get it to you. So everyone says, where's my deed, where's my deed, where's my deed? I'm not that fast. This is a process. It takes a couple months to get you the deed on these kinds of properties I'm getting to you. They're cheap. I don't pay a whole lot of money for them. But it takes the process. The paper process is the main thing to like get those things and get them to you. And then you can go sell them. You could sell them. You could sell them on Zillow. You could sell them on Craigslist. You could sell them lots of different places for free if you do everything on your own. Or if you want me to do it for you, I'll charge you 50% of the profits above and beyond, what I'm buying the thing for you for. So you keep the money I pay for it, after I sell it, and then half of everything more I can sell it for, less like some recording costs, right? Yeah, so I'll just turn into cash if you don't want to use it, but I'd rather you used it. You go use it, build a house, make YouTube videos about it, show everybody how awesome it is, and hopefully you say something like, Luke Smith, the Rural Vacant Land, gave me this property. Maybe someday someone will do that. That's my hopes and my wishes, and my way of saying thank you for listening and watching, paying attention, and being part of this community. I think together we can get a lot more land bought and sold and traded, and a lot more people into some awesome pieces of property. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're doing. And thank you, Eric, for coming on and doing this mailer. And I want to do more of these. Dr. Todd Fisher here in the lineup. I'm going to get back to you soon about doing the same thing. I just got like a hit list I'm trying to get through and get myself there. And the other guys that I need to call back, they were chiming in saying, please give me a call. I got to do that as well. So thank you, everybody. And I don't think there's any more questions. I think it's time to wrap it up and call it a day. Thank you.